I developed a process for updating YouTube video descriptions in bulk. So in other words, if you're like me and you have a bunch of YouTube channels, this is a newer channel I made. And if you need to go through these videos and update the description of these videos in bulk, I have a free method for doing that. Now, the other typical method that you will see on mostly out there is using this YouTube Buddy software. And TubeBuddy is a great software, of course, and has many other features besides simply updating YouTube descriptions. However, if you want just for this specific feature, the bulk find and replace, which is what we're doing, you need to be on the Legend plan. And as you can see, that Legend plan is $32.99 a month, or with the yearly discount, it's $26.39 multiplied by 12 per month. So if all you want to do is update YouTube descriptions in bulk, then you may not want to pay all of this money in order to do that. And so here's another option. Now, I do want to say before I am going to demonstrate what's involved, but this is going to be longer. I mean, it's going to be more manual, I should say, than using something like YouTube Buddy. And it also entails using a Google Sheet, using Google Sheets, but I provide a template. It's already programmed to do what's needed, and I'll demonstrate that. And it also requires a Chrome extension that I actually made, and it's an off the market. It's not, you can't Google and find this Chrome extension. It is what's called an unpacked Chrome extension, and I do have instructions on how to install it. It's quick and easy to install. You just go, I'm not going to show you the whole process, but you just go here. It's pretty quick. You just go to the extensions option, and right here you go to manage extensions, and you just have to do a short process to load unpacked, where you're going to upload a file that I'm going to send you, the Chrome extension file, and you just load it into your browser. So it's really that quick. And I have a little video that shows how that's done. Okay, so just want to put that out there before I go into the process, so you know this is not like a short process. I did typed out the process. So far I've updated about 5, I think it was 5, all my e-commerce channels. I have about 5 of them, and hundreds of videos between those 5, and I was able to get them successfully updated. I updated about 50 digital product links that I replaced with PPC links. So on like every video, I had links all over the place, and I was able to replace all of them. So one benefit of this method, as opposed to even using TubeBuddy, is that you can find and replace a whole list. And this is not a real list. This is just like a test that I'm going to demonstrate. You can find and replace and update a whole list of phrases, not just with TubeBuddy. From what I've seen, it's more like a one-by-one update, where you're kind of updating one word, right? You have to tell them this, I'm updating this word to that word. Okay, but with this, you can actually pull a whole list. Okay, you could have 50 links, right? Digital product links that you want to replace with something else. Okay, so keep that in mind. For instance, you might be doing a linkvertise or something. I'll provide a link for that, okay? Where you can take your links and convert them into pay-per-click links, where people are going to click your links to download things from you and you're going to get paid for those clicks. But you need to replace those links on your videos, right? And so that's what I'm going to show you to do here. And sorry for the very long intro, but it was just those things. I feel like those things had to be said. So first of all, the first step in this process is to actually get a list of YouTube Studio URLs for your videos. So now, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to run there are 2 automations in this Chrome extension, and I'm going to run another one that's going to get the descriptions. Okay, so that's going to be 2 steps. I hope in the future that I could actually I might be able to combine those under one automation later. But right now, what you're going to do is go to your channel. This is one of my more recent channels. It only has 15 videos. It's a smaller channel. And for instance, if I want to scrape, I'm going to use a free Chrome extension called Instant Data Scraper. And I'm going to go over, make sure I'm on YouTube Studio. Okay, if you know how to get here, studioyoutube.com for this channel, and I'm going to click this Instant Data Scraper Chrome extension. This is a free Chrome extension that pretty much scrapes like most websites, pretty much anything. And it will take what's on the screen and put it into a spreadsheet format. In this case, your YouTube's, you're going to see the video titles and the YouTube Studio URLs over here. Okay, and then everything else, and that's really all I want is the URLs. So now I'm going to click CSV to download that, and there's the file, Studio. Okay, so that was step 1, which is to get a list of my YouTube Studio URLs. Okay, and now I'm going to move to step 2, which is I'm going to import that list of URLs into the Google Sheet template. All right, and then I'm going to copy them to the video descriptions. So I'll show you how that works. Okay, if you go here, okay, the sheet's going to be clear. I already, have stuff on there. You're going to go to File. It's very easy. Once you go to Import CSV, you go to File and then Import. Okay, from Import, you go over to Upload, Browse, and this is from the X platform, social media image, so no, that's not what I'm doing. Okay, there it goes again, Twitter X. Studio 3, that's the file, and click Open, and then Replace. Okay, very important. This step, super important. Replace current sheet. Okay, and then import data. It's very, very important you don't select the wrong thing and replace the whole spreadsheet. So replace current sheet for that step. Okay, now I'm looking for this list of YouTube Studio links. Okay, it's a straight list. By the way, if you have more videos, the Instant Data Scraper has the ability to turn pages. By the way, you can use the next page button. I can't demonstrate it with this channel. Or you can do each page individually, but and if there's an issue with the number of videos, then perhaps TubeBuddy just might be a better option. But I mean, it can work for any number. This can work for any number of videos. Okay, it can work. So even if you have to do individual pages. All right, so I'm going to copy the URLs and paste them over here. Okay, so these are the URLs, YouTube Studio URL, right? And I only have 15 videos. I want to make it clear, I updated my channels. I had channels with as many as 100 videos. So you can't update more videos than this, okay? This is just a small channel for this example. Okay, just excuse me, I'm drinking tea while I do this. Now, the original description is the next thing that we need. I would like for the future that to make an automation that would actually get this for you, the studio URL, and the original description for you at the same time. Okay, instead of doing it how I'm doing it now, but right now this is how it is. Okay, and I was anxious to get this out, so right now that's how it is. Okay, but I'll see for the future if I can do that. Now, the original description. So now it's time for the Chrome extension. Okay. And with the Chrome extension, here's the Chrome extension. I'm going to click it, just like any other Chrome extension. And there are two automations. There's the update descriptions and download. This is the download that we need to run. Okay. By the way, it's very important. Run the YouTube Studio download description. This is step 3. It's important to know where we are. Workflow on the YouTube Automations Chrome extension. Okay. So run the YouTube Studio download descriptions workflow on the YouTube Automations Chrome extension. Okay, so here's the Google Sheet, YouTube Studio download descriptions, run workflow. Okay, now sometimes with this unpacked, maybe it's the platform that I make them on, sometimes it doesn't run the first time, so you'll come back and run it a second time and then it runs. So that does happen sometimes. So just a little bug. but you know. Now you have running workflows. That's when you're already running something. I'm not. Okay, so this is just input parameters. You see that blue circle. Okay, it means that you need to input stuff, okay, in order for this thing to work. So it needs to know the URL of the spreadsheet because it just needs to know, right, in order to open, because it needs to read the URLs, okay? So here it is. Let me open back up the Chrome extension down here. So take the URL, a pair of this sheet. This sheet, it has to be the sheet. You've got to be on this sheet, okay? And just paste that in spreadsheet URL, right? Now the studio URL column A, YouTube studio URL, contains on my template the YouTube studio URL. I'm saying my template because technically you could use any spreadsheet, but the template that I'm providing, this is what I'm using, okay? Well, this is where I have it in column A, okay? The row is 2. That means the row where you are actually going to start. You started on row 2. The max row, that's where you're going to actually end, okay? That's where you're going to actually end. So like here, the max row is going to be 19, all right? And it's not necessarily that it's going to be the last studio URL. It's just that you might not want it to run 500 videos in a row, right? That's the thing with this process. If you have like 500 videos, you may not actually want to run them at once with this process. So it's like I said, the process it's a manual and a bit slower process, okay? So you might want to cut things up. So I'll just do 2 to 19. Okay, well, this list is short, but I'm saying if you have a longer list, you might also want to shorten. Okay, now the channel name is optional, right? That's totally optional. It's only here so that when the files get downloaded, because it does download everything that it does, that it'll have that name. Okay, so I'm gonna put earn money online, which is what my channel is currently called. Okay, for me that's specific enough compared to my other channels. Now I'm going to click on run, and it will just start running. So it's important to understand that this is a manual Chrome extension. This is not like TubeBuddy, where it somehow can access your channel data and modify your channel data without actually visiting everything. No, that's not what this is. This is a manual Chrome extension. Okay, manual automation, I should say browser automation. Okay, so it's actually going to physically open each video, as you see right now on your YouTube Studio. It's going to physically open each video and actually read, and it's actually reading the description of each video. It's literally reading the description, right? It's great. Well, that's what we call, most of us coders call web scraping. Okay, so it's scraping it, just reading it from the, right out of the actual web page, okay? This is really just the equivalent of you clicking and opening the links. So it's not a detectable process. It would be detectable if it was done at some like kind of speed that is so fast that it's like, and it wouldn't work anyway, but you know, it goes at a normal pace. So it's not like I haven't had any issues doing as many as like 80 videos in a row in this fashion. Okay, so now this video, just so that you know, I mean, I'm about 14 minutes in. It's going to be more on the longer side because I'm actually like demonstrating this process live. Now we're on row 6. And what I'll do is I won't do the whole list. It's not necessary to do the whole list. So I'll have to stop the workflow. But, you know, it'll take some time. But I'm going to stop it because we don't really need to see the whole thing. So let's see. It may not be so easy to stop it. Run-in workflows. Yeah, there you go. You go to run-in workflows and then stop. Okay, so I opened the Chrome extension, and I was able to stop it. Okay. Okay, so it stopped. Now, so that's downloading the videos. I didn't want you to have to wait for all that. So I ran the YouTube Studio download descriptions workflow, and that produces, number 4, CSV files of the video descriptions will be downloaded. And I kind of split this, made it like it's a step, but it's really just more of a note. And now step 5 is that you're going to import the last file that was created into the Google Sheet as we did before. Now, when I told you import before, I didn't tell you the sheet name, which is import CSV. Right? It's the same sheet where we imported. We can just always come here to import. Right? So go to File, Import, and I'm going to wait. Upload, browse. Okay, downloads, YouTube descriptions, download. See that? YouTube descriptions, download. Earn money online, because I typed in the channel name, right? Which is optional. But see how that typing in that channel name, you can see what's going on. Now, notice there's more than one file. Every time it reads the description, it creates a new file. And each file has all of the descriptions up to that point, okay? And it does that so that if it stops, that it will have everything up to that point. So that you always, like how I just stopped the automation, because it downloads the file constantly, it always has the latest information, right? So I'm going to go ahead and open it. It always has up to the last point. Again, it's important you select replace current sheet and then click import data. Okay, it's extremely important. Okay, now here's the YouTube Studio URL and here's description, right? So you see the difference with when I run my automation versus Instant Data Scraper. My automation, I made it specifically for this purpose. So when you run it, it only specifically gives you those two columns instead of all that other crazy stuff that you're going to get with Instant Data Scraper, which is meant to just scrape anything that's on the screen. Okay, it just scrapes everything it sees. Mine only scrapes what it's set to scrape, which is the studio URL and the description of each video, right? Well, you had this already. You provided the URL, it scrapes the description, okay? All right, so now that you have the descriptions, you're going to select them, and you can just do Control-Shift. I like to do Control-Shift-Down keyboard to select all of those descriptions at once. Right-click, copy, and from there go over to Video Descriptions. Video Descriptions, okay, that's the Sheet tab, Video Descriptions. And then right under where it says Original Description, right in this column, okay, is where you're going to pay. These overlap, don't mind that. Just click right over it. Right click and paste. Okay, and just paste all of those descriptions. Scroll down and you will see, right, because I only did up to 6, that's where it's going to stop. Right, I didn't go all the way to 19. Okay. Because it looks odd, I'm going to just delete it from there. Okay. Now, okay, so now's for the fun part, okay, which is the actual core of this process. We imported that file, the downloads, right, the description downloads. Now we have to set up the find and replace text, right? Which means now we're going to set up what we actually want to find and replace. Now I put something silly here, apples, oranges, bananas, lemons. That was just a test, just to show you how and that it works. So what I'm going to do is scroll down. Let's see. I want you to see that, but I should have done. Okay, yeah. All right, I'll just do it down here. Okay, hopefully it still. Okay, hopefully it still works down here. Yeah, it should. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put apples. And what did I set up here again? And I'll put oranges over here. In fact, I'll do. No, I got it. Yeah. So I'll do. Gee whiz. Sorry, I'm way off with this. Here's the original description, which is going to be apples and oranges. This is not a real example, which is why I'm messing up so much. So apples and, let's just say apples and oranges was the original description, right? When I click replace descriptions, it's looking for that word. Okay, now first of all, I'm glad this happened. When you first run a button like this, okay, this has code running behind it. It's a script. It's going to ask for authorization. It's going to say authorization required. So you're going to have to see a script attached to this document needs your permission to run. I know a lot of you don't have experience with this who are going to be doing this process. And that's why I'm taking so much time. My e-commerce followers, they already know all of this because they've done it. I have like, a ton of spreadsheets that they've done, okay, that they've used with this, that have code in. All right, but for the general public who doesn't know, this is what happens when you try to run code on even on your own Google Sheet that you wrote yourself, in my case, right? You click OK, and this is what comes up. You've got to select your account like that, and then now you're going to see this. Google hasn't verified this app. Do not be afraid of this. This is what it's going to say. Google hasn't verified this app, but it doesn't really. It's just that there are lots of people out there creating code, and they refer to code as an app. Understand, any code that you create, even just to find and replace text, they consider that to be an app. So that's why it's being said this way. Okay, so it's nothing to worry about. You click on advanced, and it's going to tell you continue only if you understand the risk and you trust the developer. You can trust me. Go to YouTube Chrome extension. It's going to say it's unsafe. It's not unsafe. Okay, that's not unsafe. Just click it. Okay. Now it's also going to tell you that the Chrome extension, this Google Sheet is allowed to do all these different things. It's going to delete. It's not going to do any of this. It doesn't do any of this, and it actually can't do any of these things that it says. Okay. There's nothing like that happening here. All you have to do is click allow, and it's up to you if you don't want to use it. If you believe that message, you can go ahead. But that message is, you have to understand, is very generic. They're trying to cover every possible situation that could ever happen. All right. So, but people have been using my Google Sheets now, my automations, for like 5 years. So you can trust this developer. At least I can say that. So now I'm going to click on replace descriptions, and okay, so now it's very specific. Now it is case sensitive, which is something I can change, which I hadn't really even thought about. It is case sensitive. These are capitalized, and what I've typed in is not capitalized. So that's why it's not replacing it. So it is case sensitive. If the case sensitivity is a problem, I can easily fix that using a lowercase function in my code. That will just basically will look at everything as being the same. But I'm going to go ahead and click replace descriptions this time, and you can see that apples and oranges becomes bananas and lemons. Okay. Why? Because I typed in apples as the original text, bananas as replacement text, oranges as original text, lemons as replacement text, right? So when it sees apples, it's going to put bananas. When it sees oranges, it's going to put lemons, right? And again, I just want to, just so you understand the concept of what it's doing, right? It's also just to prove to you that this thing actually works, because of course, I want you to actually to see that it actually works. Okay, I'm going to click replace descriptions. It's important to understand when it does this, it's going through all of this descriptions, okay? And it's replacing everything. So all the apples have become bananas and oranges become lemons, right? And I also have a link on here. I'll show you now. Here's the original link. This is from my channel, okay? This is the link I originally had, but guess what? This website is gone, okay? So when I click this link, it's a bad link, okay? It doesn't open anymore. It opens to nothing. I've replaced it with this link where I have like a published Google Doc that I'm building, really. So I only have a few sites on it. Now it's asking if I'm sure I want to, okay, well, anyway. So you don't need to see the link, but, okay, I'm replacing that with this, right? Because this link is bad. So if I have this link in the original description and I click replace descriptions, you're going to see that original link is going to become the new link. When it gets to the bottom, it takes some time to get there, right? And it becomes the new link. Okay, I can just cancel these. So as you see how this is going to be beneficial, because it's going to do a whole list, right? Now, because banana, oranges, whatever, those things were not in the original link description, okay, there was, nothing happened with those. However, the website, we can see, got replaced, right? So if you see sites to make easy money online, see that link? And now look at what it says here. The easy ways to earn that I did here, find and replace. See that? We changed it. So this is an exact copy of the original description, except that link has been replaced. So please understand how literal this is. Literally, this will be replaced with that. Okay, so you just have to think about what is the effect of the find and replaces that you're setting up. You have to make sure you're thinking about that, because it's not going to discriminate, and it will replace every single one. Okay. And you can see it again. It happened here again. Right? Original link. Oh boy, where is it? Just want you to see it. Anyway, you get the point. Okay, so it's the same thing on every single one of these. By the way, I literally need to replace these, so I'm literally going to actually do it. Okay? Show you that process. Now, let's move on, because I think I'm taking a bit long here, okay? I ran the replace descriptions button on the video description sheet. You saw the replacement happen of the text I wanted to replace. It could have replaced a ton of links if I wanted it to, by the way. Okay, and it would replace all of them. Okay, just so you know, you can do a whole list. Now, you have the originals and you have the new ones. So what do you do now? Well, you go ahead and you run the automation. Okay, you review the original and new descriptions, make sure that they, it looks right. But basically, it's just copying it over and finding and replacing the original. So now we're on step 9. Okay, this is just the review step, what we were just doing, reviewing. Now, for step 9, you're going to run the YouTube Studio Update Descriptions workflow on the YouTube Automations Chrome extension. So at this point, we're going to actually update the descriptions. Okay, this is actually the last part. Last thing you need to do. So, same as before, I run the Chrome extension, I open it, and again, YouTube Studio YouTube Studio Update Descriptions this time. Okay, I'm going to run this one. If it doesn't run the first time, something with that thing. Click it here. The second time, remember you're using update descriptions. Okay. Keep in mind whoops. Where's my, okay. Keep in mind it's literally going to replace these, but you'll see it happening in front of you, right? Because it's manual. So just copy the spreadsheet URL up here. Go back to the YouTube again. Paste it in here. You see that spreadsheet URL? Studio URL column is column A. New description column by default is column C. These defaults are based on my template. Just use my template. It's just going to make it easier. But if you, for some reason, you have to use another file, you can do that, and then you can change these. But you're going to have to change them every time you run it, but, you know. But basically, using my template, column A, column C, starting on row 2, you can always change the row because I realize that you might be starting and stopping, and you may need to continue from a different row. So until the last row, like where you want to stop, okay? And I think that's going to be 6. I think it's 6. But we don't have to go through the whole thing. In fact, 2, 3, and 4 will be good enough. Let's just do, you know, if I even do that much. Put in the channel name again. I'll just type in earn money online. That's just for the file output. Whoops. Earn money online. Finally, run the automation. Okay, I'm going to speed things up because this is basically the end of the process. And this video has been probably long enough for you already. And as you can see, the YouTube Studio URL is going to be visited first and opened up in the browser. So it's going to literally visit that URL, which it's reading. And so right now it's reading the URL first, and then it's going to go over and read the new description. Okay, it's going to read the new description as well. So now it's moving over to the new description, and it's going to read that, pick that up out of the spreadsheet, and then it's going to go on to YouTube and do what it has to do there. And open up so now it opens up. Now, you're going to see that description, and it's actually storing the original description for you, so you're not losing it. Okay, it's storing that original for you, and then it just drops in that replacement. As you can see, the link was changed, right? Remember that link of mine? You see it has my new link. Biddle, right? Easy ways to earn, instead of the longer link I had, which is no longer any good, right? So I literally need to do this. Like, I'm literally showing you, like I'm literally replacing links on my own channel right now in this demonstration. So this is not just like a, you know, like I'm actually needing to do this right now. So, and you're involved, right, by watching it. Okay, so you're actually getting to see the process. Okay, just a couple more. Right now, I mean, it's a bit. I mean, I'm not sure I want to. Let's see. If I want to have you, I mean, you're watching a video. You could always like advance the video, I guess. So I suppose I will let it go ahead and do another one. You can always advance the video, right? But I would like to do at least one more, because the thing is, I want to show the file result, and it won't make sense if there's only one video on that result, on that file. So, in fact, I'll need it to do a third one as well in order to produce a realistic example of the file output. Okay, so I'll have to do one more after this. So again, if you don't want to sit and watch this part, you can just advance the video. Of course, you're watching the video. I'm actually doing this in reality, so I have to sit and wait. Okay, so one more. This is pretty much giving you an idea of how long it takes to do a video, because it does have to actually read the spreadsheet. And so there's that. So again, this is a manual process, although it's automated. I call it auto. I consider it to be auto manual. I call it auto manual because it's like it's automated and that it's doing it itself, but it's manual because it's still manually happening in the browser. So it's still slow, but the way that you should use this ideally is, if you are going to update your channel this way, run this on one computer and go use another computer, right? So you're going to run this in the browser on a computer that you're not physically using at the moment. That way you can run it for 100 videos if you want to, and you can still do work. Or if you're taking a break, or if you can just not use your computer, if you only have one computer, if you can just not use the computer for a while. That would be the other option. All right. And so those are things that you have to consider and realize with this process. I believe it's done because I must have set it to only do, yes, right, I did rows 2 to 4. Once it reaches row 4, because I told it do rows 2 to 4, it will stop automatically, right? The automation ends. And that's it. Now I can actually visit those videos. I do have the links, so I can manually click the links in the Google Sheet and actually open the links, right? And I can actually see the new descriptions that were made. I can see on my YouTube studio, right, that it has in fact replaced those the links in those video descriptions. All right, there goes another one, and here's the third one. Okay, here. Whoops. All right, there we go. There's the third one. Okay. All right, so again, you can see that it's been updated. All right, so again, I used this to replace like 50 to 60, I think I must have had, digital product links of my things I create, systems. I create Google Sheet systems, automated Google Sheet systems, primarily for e-commerce, but also for other things as well. And I replaced all of those links with new links, PPC links. So if that's something that you want to do, you can use this tool to do it. And sign up on, I have a link for it that you can use in the description for Linkvertise. That's a pay-per-click program. So if you already have digital products, for instance, links to those products, and you want to replace them to get paid when someone, you know, clicks the link to the product, what will happen is it will go to the Linkvertise page, show them a short ad, then it will progress, you know, move on to your actual page, and you know, you gradually and slowly, it's not a ton of money, but you collect over time, depending on the number of clicks, right? It makes money, right? Kind of on autopilot. So if you need to do that, this is a tool that you'll be able to use to replace those links. Okay, get them replaced. Okay, but again, if you can't, for whatever reason, you know, whatever reason, then there's TubeBuddy, and there is an there's an expense for that. There's a cost, but there's also tons of other features that TubeBuddy is offering you that I can't offer you. I can't, you know, I can only do but so much. YouTube video descriptions was a major thing for me. I make the tools based on actually what I need to do, quite frankly. But it turns out most things I need to do, a ton of other people need it too, right? So basically that's, you know, the YouTube video descriptions. That's pretty much the major thing that I keep seeing that other YouTubers are saying they need to do. They need to update their video descriptions in bulk, and don't necessarily want to pay, you know, 34 or 33 or whatever dollars per month to YouTubeBuddy. All right, so so that's about it. Well, no, not really, except one thing. Now, this is not a mandatory step. What I'm about to do is not mandatory, okay? But I want you to see it, okay? So I'm going to go to File, Import. This is not mandatory. I wish I could have ended right there, but I just want you to see this, okay? And then I'll end right after this. So you see that YouTube updated descriptions. These are the files that were produced in the process. And the last file is the one. Okay, it's always the last one. Replace current sheet. I've already shown you how to do that. You're going to see the original, the YouTube Studio URL, okay, of your video, the new description that it was updated to, and the original one that it pulls. So what happens is, as it's updating, it's literally pulling the original description first, so that just in case you're not satisfied with the results, or you know, if you needed to go back and whatever, it has a record. Okay, so this way you have a record of it. Okay, and if you know how to, you know, use Google Drive, you can go to Google Drive and you can go to import. There's an import option. You could upload the file into your Google Drive and store it. Okay, so you always have a record of your original descriptions, video descriptions, as well as the new video descriptions. And that's something you can do as well. So that's about it. What you need to do if you want to do this process yourself, if you want to try this, you want to update in bulk your video descriptions, and to be able to update a whole list of things like links and whatnot. What you need is this Google Sheet template, which you're going to download. Okay, and get this Google Sheet template from me. You could create your own template, but it's just going to be easier to use mine. And what you need is a copy of this YouTube Automations Chrome extension, which is an unpacked Chrome extension, meaning it is not available on the market. You can't go on like other Chrome extensions and search for it and download it. You've got to get the file from me. It's a zip file. When you download it, it's a zipped file. You're going to extract it into a file, a folder. And then there's a process which I demonstrate in the video, which I showed earlier in this video as well, where you add it to your extensions. You load unpacked. Okay, you just load under manage extensions, you load unpacked and select the file and it shows up. That's it. Okay, it's that simple. So that's what you need. Okay, so that Chrome extension, the Google Sheet template, and then I have this outline here that I just typed up for this video, but go ahead and I'll send you a copy of this too, so that you kind of have like the instructions kind of outlined for you in writing. And then you have, of course, this video, which is actually demonstrating the whole process, right? So, I mean, that's good as well. Well, I mean, you need the video, obviously, to really see how this is done. So that is about it. I am Mr. Mark, by the way, if I didn't say that earlier. And you can contact me directly. There will be some kind of contact information provided on the video. And just whatever, just check the description for links. I mean, everything is in the description. Of everything you need should be down there. And that's pretty much about it. Like, subscribe if you wish. Leave comments, questions, or suggestions below. Contact me directly, or visit a social media page of mine. Other than that, look forward to seeing you around in another video.